This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
She is amazing in many, many different ways, partly because she's got such deep knowledge about things connected to your health, physiology. She is an RN. She practices acupuncture, massage, and so much more. That's the starting point. But also at the same time, she makes you think about your life, your body, how you're keeping yourself healthy. Also understands energy. And today we're going to talk about something called PMF. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I believe it's going to be very impactful, as it always is when we get together with her. And she's the woman behind a wonderful center in Oklahoma at tulsapath.com is the website. Teresa Wilkinson back on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day. So glad to
Mm.
be with you.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're in obviously Oklahoma. What's your weather like over there? A couple of days before Christmas.
Right now it's going on 70 degrees. It's sunny. Can you
Oh,
believe it?
no, I can't.
It's like
Wow.
spring.
It's
It's
39.
unusual.
New York's 39, raw, raining. There was a little bit of like light snow earlier. Not complaining. It is a winter.
Yeah,
It is the
it's
winter.
winter.
Hmm. So PMF, what does that stand for?
Okay, PEMF, and it's peripheral electromagnetic frequency.
I'm
So
trying to process what that could be. Peripheral, leads me in
okay,
magnetic
okay,
frequency.
okay.
I got the frequency, magnetic's okay. The peripheral, that's I'm in the gray territory because we always hear peripheral vision. But this is not about our eyes, right?
No, so really, they really started learning about this when we started doing the Apollo missions, going to the moon. When we leave the Earth's gravity, we are so connected with the electromagnetic core of the Earth in our body that when they left the Earth's gravity, they found out that our circulation ceased. And when these astronauts came back, they weren't able to walk. They had to carry them. And so 76% of our uh, circulation is cell to cell. Only 24% of our circulation is in our arteries and veins. So each cell is like an organism in itself. It's got a digestive system, a respiratory system, energy system. And so, why it's so important is especially through surgeries. Now they claim the device I use was designed by a German scientist, and he designed it to be the exact same frequency as our body and of the Earth. Now it has a certain loop. It has a certain pattern. Other PMF devices may be random and like a square and then zigzaggy. So, what's special about the device I work with is it can save an arm and a leg. So, the scientists that designed it said you'd never have another amputation if you used this device. So, so many people say with diabetes, get neuropathy. We've talked about the statins causing restless leg and uh, leg cramps and
Yep.
neuropathy and all that. And then you think of women having breast augmentation from breast cancer, and before they didn't understand about wearing a compression sleeve, and their arm would get really swollen and large, and then they didn't have the ability to reduce that size in the past. Now they've learned about compression sleeves. Now we've got some compression devices that squeeze, and they actually use these post-op in the hospital to prevent blood clots and strokes from post-op surgeries. And so, but the PEMF devices, I have seen them used in a variety of ways. And then I can tell you a few of my success stories, but just off the chart, like I've seen them used in equine facilities on horses, where they were actually like a large tube that was looped around and that went over the horse's body. But what I noticed is the horses would be sore the next day. You could tell they had difficulty walking. So some of these, I was kind of against getting involved in this. My device is called a beamer. It stands for bioelectromagnetic frequency, bioelectromagnetic energy regulation, beamer. Kind of like you think of a car. But it what I like about it is that you do not feel it. It does not electrocute you, or it does not vibrate you. So the ones I have experienced in the past would electrocute you, heavy electric shock and heavy vibration. So so that's where I saw the horses. They would be sore the next day, and I thought, well, that's not good. Why would you want to do that if it's causing them to be sore? And then the other interesting one I've experienced was I do bioidentical hormone replacement, and at this particular clinic, they worked with ED because of, again, hormone replacement. And this lady had a device that she would vibrate and electrocute the penis to create circulation.
I've seen
And
and heard that before, and
and
that it's done, and it's also a uh, electromagnetic field or something like that to stimulate blood flow or something.
right, right. But I had them do it on my back. They told me that it also really helped your back. I had them do it on my back. It about killed me. I mean, I ran out of there grabbing a pain pill and slugging down some wine. And I
Wow.
thought, how can a man stand this on his penis? And they said, well, we put a numbing cream on the penis. But you'd really have to have some courage to
Especially
want
what
to
if
do that. But they said, like, the guys come in and do it. I guess they'll do anything.
like what if
But
things go wrong?
anyway,
So I have a question. Teresa, this everything we're talking about, the TENS machine. Okay, you're aware of those, right? The
yeah,
TENS
right.
machine.
I use those.
How is this different?
Well, that is a good question. Um, It is totally different. Now, I will say that my Beamer, since it does not cause electric shock or vibration, I do use it for fertility. There's some great fertility stories, um, but I like it because it's gentle. You don't feel anything, but yet it's creating this microcirculation. And it also helps with the quality of sperm and working with people going through fertility treatments. But the TENS unit is more like it's an electric stimulation. It's basically a positive, negative, um, and I
Charge.
guess it's just a charge. And so it doesn't do anything. Um, so for regular, say, physical therapists that's using pads, it's just going to vibrate the muscle in hopes of relaxing the spasm of that muscle. In acupuncture, they're attached to the needles, and it will help enhance the effectiveness of the acupuncture.
Wow.
So it's, again, just more of an electric stimulation. The the PEMF, going back to the beamer, it's actually increasing circulation at a cellular level. So just for example, I had an actor come in, and he was not his normal self. He came in a walker. He's probably older, and I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "Well, I've been playing a a veteran in this movie, and it's working out perfect for me because right now my feet and ankles are so swollen. I'm having to use this walker." And so I looked at his feet. I actually measured them because they were so large. His ankles were 25 inches around. So the patient I had before him, I asked her. She'd just gotten back from vacation, and I asked her. I said, how was your vacation?" And she said, "Well, it really wasn't good because I spent the whole time in bed. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get around. My ankles and feet were so swollen, and I got back home and checked with my doctor. Turns out that I had been put on a new blood pressure medicine, and the side effect was swelling of the feet and ankles."
Yes, my friend,
And so,
same exact thing. We don't call them ankles, we call them cankles because it's your calf and ankle going together because it's so wide. And I just
yeah,
checked mine right
exactly.
now. I'm barely like I don't know, 10, 9, like not even. Like, can you have 20 what? How many?
25 inches I measured. I had to. Well, then,
It's a thigh.
uh, so he was on the table. I brought her and she was checking out. And I said, "I want you to come and see this next patient. Did your ankles look like this?" And she said, "Yes." And she says, "Are you on such and such medication?" He goes, "Yeah, I just got put on it 2 weeks ago." She goes, "Get off of it. Go to your doctor. Get on another medication. You're having a side effect of the same thing that I took. And go
Yeesh.
check with your doctor immediately." And so that within that session, I use a combination of acupuncture, massage, and the beamer. And within 1 hour, I got his ankles from 25 inches down to 12 in 1 hour.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
I had
That's
a,
it's crazy.
it's crazy. So I had a similar experience with a basketball player in the middle of a tournament. Uh, this lady was actually out of town. Her mother, she was in high school. Her mother drove her 2 hours to see me in the middle of this tournament for me to fix her because she twisted her ankle, and same thing. It was gigantic. It was huge. I didn't measure it, but anyway, I did the same thing. Used the beamer, acupuncture, massage, and then I wrapped it. She went back and scored 48 points.
Wow. Mm.
So she was written up in the paper and everything. So I thought that was cool. And then I had a real unusual thing. A guy, he was doing a lot of mountain biking, and really rough, going up and down those hills and hitting the trees and really getting after it. And he he ended up with, oh God, almost I want to say half a basketball size of lymphatic tissue coming out of his knee
Oof.
because he banged it so bad. And he went to the doctor, and there's really not much they could do. And so I did the same thing, acupuncture. I did more physical therapy type movement, and used the beamer. And within a few sessions, I actually got the knee back to normal.
Amazing.
And I was pretty impressed with that. I had another man, it was kind of odd. He had a reaction to hair dye, and he'd gotten it at a Oriental grocery store. So it was something different that he hadn't used before, and he had a little bit of a reaction to it where his tongue turned black, and he had um, his mouth turned black, and then after that, he had a situation where his mother fell. She was older, and when he picked her up, she grabbed him by the neck, and she squeezed his neck so hard because she was scared and hanging on that it caused grapefruit sized limps all around his neck and in his cheeks.
Mm.
And again, I used acupuncture, deep tissue massage. A lot of people think lymphatic massage is light touch. No, sometimes you have to really work hard to get the lymphatic to move out if it's really stagnant and hardened in that area. And
Now,
use the beamer.
can that happen also from, let's say you have surgery? Can that around the surgical site, if it's substantial surgery, that lymphatic tissue or even fluid, uh, be troublesome, hard in that area?
Yes, so I do a lot of post-op surgery work, a lot, especially cosmetic. You wouldn't
Mm.
believe the people, and they're pretty young that get it done, and I need to do it, but uh, they do the neck lift where they take out your little waddle. And believe it or not only do they have to cut here, but they have to go around and actually take your ears off to pull that excess skin back. But they'll pull it pretty tight. And so they will come in and have me do the beamer and acupuncture. And it can be on the face, it can be uh, the belly. It can be any kind of what they call a 360, where they do liposuction all the way around the torso. And I don't know if you've heard of the BBL, but they take the fat from your belly and put it in around your butt, so your butt is nice and round.
I didn't know where it came from, but I've heard of that.
Yeah,
uh, I
I
want to
think
ask
they.
this question, and it's kind of fundamental, and you said it when we first got started today. But the cells in our body are much more than we realize, and everything is on the cellular level. Some believe things we experienced early in life, even childhood, and it might have been, maybe a toxic relationship with a parent or if things like bullying, anything is stored in our cells. It's all there. The body knows. It's been keeping score, if you will, since the beginning of our time. And that's where things can maybe go wrong because it's holding on to that information. Because as you said, each cell has its own little brain, if you will.
It's true. It's pretty interesting. Some of the first work that I learned, and I saw it on actually social media earlier today, but the preface was fascia. The lady was it was too bad the video did not come through for me to see what she was going to teach, but it was looked like a type of yoga or a Pilates session. But what it she had other uh, podcast with that station, and what I was seeing was emotional release that stuck in the fascia of our body. And that's one thing that we used to call it rebirthing, and a lot of it adds in breath work. But some of the first physical body work that I learned was helping people release. And sometimes you don't even have to try, but in helping fix somebody um, physically from a traumatic injury can release emotional experiences and cause emotional release at that cellular level, just like you're talking about. And it's
Wow.
stuck in the fascia at a cellular level. So you're absolutely correct on that. And a lot of people are not aware, but it happens. And so there's people that will actually go to special retreat centers or special therapists just to get that release. And
Yes.
there's like crying and people are letting go emotionally.
Um, well, let's talk about that for a second too. Aren't we the only species, mammals, if you will, that cry? Others don't. We do. Do I, any other? I thought I heard that we're the only ones that cry, and for a reason, because there's a chemical release, and that's what we're talking about here. Releasing what's stored inside our bodies and getting rid of it, and it comes through the tears. You ever heard that? Does that even make any sense?
Well, that's a fascinating thing. I'd really want to uh, go to Chat GPT on that one.
That's a Steve fact check. Uh, that's what I heard.
But
You know what? Before we run
all
out
I
of
can think
time,
of is
I'll have our staff check that right now if we could. Before we run
okay,
out of
okay,
time, we did get a question, possibly two, from the last time we got together. We did a few podcasts on the heart. So instantfeedbacksteve at
okay.
gmail.com, by the way. This is Ethan in Denver. And he says, thank you for your conversation about heart health. If someone wanted to improve their heart health, starting today, what small daily habits would make the biggest difference?
Well, the two biggies are uh, your diet and exercise. And so many people come to me overweight, a little chunky, and they're doing only fast food. They're not eating, a whole food or food brought from home, simple food, just like we've talked about having peanut butter and cutting up an apple for a snack. That's a whole food. You're having peanut, you're having apple, that's not getting burger fries from somewhere. Um, so a cleaner diet, and then any type of exercise, even if it's walking, is so powerful because, again, we're getting that circulation going. And I had somebody tell me today about those inverter machines, how that actually is a good treatment for the heart. But of course, you'd have to buy an inverter device, but the ones that we put your ankles in and you lean back, and
Yeah, yeah.
because you lean back, your circulation is going in a different direction than normal because you're going in a different gravity.
Wow.
And they said that's a treatment for the heart, and that was something new for me.
Mm.
So
What
that
you say, exercise and diet, if you had to put a percentage on both of those, with maybe one being more important than the other, what would it be? And the reason I bring this up is I usually get prepared meals at a place near me. It's a little pricey. I don't cook. I'm busy. I assume it's healthier than eating some of the other stuff that's out there. But they say 88, it's 80% diet, 20% exercise. And now they're selling meals. Okay, I get that. I've seen that number before though. What do you
I
think?
would agree. I would agree.
Oh,
And
really?
I think a scratch kitchen is smart. And I do the same thing. I get my food at a scratch kitchen. I don't have the time to cook. I can get a few meals out of that one meal, or I might get a couple of different meals, but at least I
Right.
know it's whole food, it's fresh food, you know.
And,
So
and it saves you time. And yes, there's expense, but it's better than some of the other stuff.
exactly.
Uh, one more we're out of
Okay.
time here, but what do I
Okay.
got here? Lily checks in from Newark, New Jersey. We hear a lot about sleep being important. How does poor sleep actually affect your heart, and how much sleep is ideal?
Yes, and I think we did touch on that
Hmm,
last time, how important sleep is. And you had your own personal story about your dad.
that's right. I remember that. Yeah. Yep.
And so, as far as they always say 8 hours, some people get by with six, um, and then it goes back to those routines. But I'm not sure if you remember about your dad, how much sleep he
Uh,
got, or if he was just getting little naps here and there. But he may have not have gone into a deep sleep and gone into
that's
those REMs that they
yes.
talk about, and that may have been the secret on him.
It was
But your
little
dad,
piece, little sleep here and there, because he loved his boat and he would work at a plant overnight intentionally. He would take the overnight shift. So you have day free to go on the boat, sleep a little here, an hour here, two here, whatever. He passed on his boat young and in great health. I really think that's what did him in. But to your point, and I'm glad you said it, many of us maybe doing the right thing, being intentional. Yeah, all right, 7 hours. I got to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up in 7 hours. But are you really getting 7 good quality hours of sleep? Probably not. So my thinking is you got to really
Well,
look at, plan for 8 to make sure you get, more quality sleep. Because if it's not full, then, it's really not the best.
sleep is one of the biggest complaints that I will get from patients. But I will say, I always suggest valerian root is an herb that they figured out how to make Valium from. Valerian root is very good to help you sleep. There's another one called Calms Forte, and it has passion flower in it, and it's
Wow.
homeopathic. It helps. And then I keep it on hand. So, say I wake up at 2 in the morning, wide eyed and bushy tailed, and my brain is going 100 miles an hour,
Ooh.
I can take a couple of those tablets and go back and do some deep breathing. And then the other secret is to get back to that deep sleep, I'll count backwards from 300. And it's kind of a hypnosis trick,
Yes.
but your brain's thinking of those numbers, and it keeps it from erasing around thinking of
Yeah. Of
things
the other
that,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
And
the other stuff.
counting sheep. How many times, you see it in a cartoon, you laughed about it. Ah, really? No, it actually works. Final thing here today, just gave it to me. Yes, humans are the only animals known to shed tears specifically for emotional reasons, sadness, joy, stress, all of that, while other animals produce tears for functional purposes like lubricating or cleaning their eyes. It's not for emotion. So we do it for that reason.
Oh, well, you know what I thought of as puppy dogs. You can just see if you can just
Yeah,
see
glazed
a
over.
sweet little puppy dog having some sad tears. So that's the only animal I could think of as a sweet
And you're
puppy dog.
right. So that makes me wonder, why is that puppy dog doing that? Or,
I
I don't,
think they have emotion. I think puppies have emotion, but probably a lot of animals do too, but probably more domesticated that we would have a human connection with.
Hmm.
Something that's more human connected, that's domestic, not a wild animal necessarily, unless, but we do are seeing more and more, and it could be AI, where animals are. Helping each other or helping their baby, and
Hmm.
it's got to be some emotion there because they're caring.
I want to believe that too. But that's what they told me. We're out of time. Thank you
Okay,
so much for today.
okay.
Fascinating learning about PEMF. And people can reach out to you, tulsapath.com, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. Got questions? Instant feedback, Steve at gmail.com. Teresa, thank you so much for today. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we'll get together soon.
All right, happy holidays to you too.
You too. I will be right back.
Okay.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.